Listen, we're talking to you guys about Brian Mcknight really quickly. This is just distasteful, despicable. It's disgusting. It's deranged. I'm sick and tired of his behavior, to be honest, and I'm disappointed as a big brother who has fathered siblings in a sense of right. I just can't imagine myself doing this to my siblings or doing this to my future children. Where if I have a broken home, I'm trying to, go against my children in a particular way where I'm not showing that I'm the bigger person. As a father, I should be emotionally mature. A lot of fathers, I realize, are emotionally stunted. They're emotionally stunted. They're and mothers too. From the older generations, they are emotionally stunted, and their emotional intelligence and awareness is problematic. This is a prime example of what we're talking about. And specifically, we're talking about Brian McKnight. But before we go any further, please do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. We are doing some great work, and you guys are helping us show us that this is actually great work we're doing. We're helping us get to 100K subscribers by the end of the year, and you guys have been piling it on in the last few weeks, and I really do appreciate that. We've gone from so this to so far, so I appreciate it. Keep on sharing it, subscribing, and liking these videos because it helps with analytics as well. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated. All right, let's get into this video. Talk about Brian McKnight. He put up a post about his son. If you know anything about Brian McKnight, he said, "You are the son that only a man can hope for." He puts this post up, and I'm like, if you know anything about Brian McKnight, the history, we did a video, a long one, a couple of months ago, and what it was is that Brian McKnight is just trying to agitate his own children that are flesh and blood, and I was explaining the behaviors behind why some people do that. Number one, there are several factors that can play into this. Number one is that this young man is not full on dark skinned. Just want to keep it real. Number two also is that sometimes as men, due to emotional stuntedness and lack of emotional awareness and intelligence, what we can end up doing is that we almost want to do this whole like, oh, I failed the first one, throw it away and go and start elsewhere. But kids, you can't do that with. Family, you can't do that with. You've birthed these children. So where mistakes you've made, you can't just pack it up and scrunch it away and throw it away and say, I'll start somewhere else. And that's what sometimes these guys be doing. You heard it with Serena Williams' father. He messed up over there, scrunched up the piece of paper, went to the other side. Serena Williams and Venus. He loved the woman too. There's another thing that's also important. That's number three. But he go over there, scratch a piece of paper, say, all right, brand new. Any lessons I've learned, I'll go over it. Some men cannot deal with their own failures. Oh, let's talk about it. Some men cannot deal with their own failures. That's why when it comes to kids, they start all over again somewhere else. Number three, the other aspect is that the mother, they love the mother. And this is why it's really important. Having kids and you don't love that woman is very tough. It takes obligation and duty-mindedness to be able to do this, right? Because you don't have the love for the mother. You should have love for your children and you should be connected to those children, but yet we're disconnected. And so what we're seeing is oftentimes the love for that mother is what precedes then the loving of those children. He don't love the mother, the ex, so now he don't love the kids, right? And the kids are trying to do too much. They're trying to get from him. They're trying to steal from him. Why the negative aspect and why the sudden suspicion of your actual flesh and blood? Because this kid here is not his son, like it's not his flesh and blood, right? But you got whole posts now, which you know what I won't even say. Listen, again, people always run to narc. This ain't even narc behavior a lot of the time. Sometimes it's not even that it's narc. Emotional stuntedness can play a part in this, where they behave like a kid, right? Like a child, where you're poking holes at your child, and you're trying to big up your other son who is from the woman that you actually love, which is crazy. But it says here, Jack Boy. Let's read it. Jack Boy, I cannot believe that you turned 21 today. It seems like yesterday that your mom blessed me with you and your sister, and we all became a family. But that was over 10 years ago. So it's not his son. I could not be prouder that you are my son, and the bond that we have forged is undeniable. It's going to be his son until they do something wrong and go against him, right? Jack Boy, I cannot believe that you turned 21 today. It seems like yesterday that your mom blessed me with your sister, and we all became a family, but that was over 10 years ago. I could not be prouder that you are my son. The bond that we have forged is undeniable, and every day it grows stronger. I tell you, mom, every day how in awe I am of her because of everything she is to me. Like I said, the woman is a bond, and that's what first starts it. And watching her be the best mother I've ever seen makes me want to be the best father I can be to you. Why didn't you want to do that for your first previous kids? Uh, best father I can be to you, Julia, and now baby Brian. Baby, you are the best mother God ever created, and I am forever in love with you. So, Jack, keep doing what you're doing, and just know that you are so proud of you and the man you've become. You are such a great example for your little brother, and I can't wait for him to grow up and just like you, because you're the son any man could only hope for. I love you so much. Happy 21st birthday. Now, the problem is here is this. Look at this. Father of Julia, Jack, Kiko, Matteo, and Brian, Kenio, Makoa. Oh no, the names are long, whatever. I believe those are all the kids that are with his immediate woman now. It's just problematic. Like, why is you know what I mean? So Brian Mcknight Jr., Brianna, Clyde, Nico, those are his children. Those are also his children from a previous situation. And they are not there. Apart from Brian. But the rest are not there. Right? The rest are not there. Nico, Clyde, they're not there. And Brianna, they're not there. But Brian, I don't know if that, I think that might even be Brian, the little one, not even Brian, the big one. So there might be a younger one. They're not there. This is problematic for me, but it's again that scrap piece of paper, throw it up and scrunch it up and start all over again is what I'm talking about, and that's disgusting, and that shows emotional stuntedness and emotional, a failure in the emotional growth, and that's why you're mistreating your children the way they are. You're treating them as if they're not your blood and flesh and blood. Whether you hate the mother or not, whether you don't like the mother enough or whatever, it should not be translated onto those kids. And seemingly it has. And a lot of times it's because that person was detached time ago, right? They were detached before they met those kids, before they had those children. They were detached. And all they needed was a wound or a scar to be cut again, and they would fully detach from that person. It's a shame. It's sad. We don't want to see those kind of things. But as I was explaining earlier on about Brian Mcknight, sometimes they also look at their own failures in their children. They see their children and they see themselves and they see the failures that they've manifested. And it can be very hard for them to face it. That's not an excuse. Oh, no. We're not giving them an excuse. No. There's no excuses here. It's deranged behavior to do this. Like, you're posting on this person on Insta, and we know that you do it to kind of incite violence on your own children. Like, we can't tell if it's actually genuine because you've done it before and used it as a method of poking at your other children. You know what I mean? So it's political to see, and it's sad to see. But a father sets a temperature for the house. He sets a temperature for his kids. It's really important that as a father, you lead with principle. You get things wrong, but lead with principle. You know what I mean? Lead with principle, and then but first and foremost, lead with love. Lead how Christ would lead our homes as well, right? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Make sure if you haven't done so already that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 100K. Number two, also want to let you know you can join the membership. It's £1, it's $1, and we have lives every other week. I have a conversation, and don't forget, listen, leave me a comment down below. Do you agree, Brian Mcknight? What's your thoughts on him? Do you think he was deranged for this message? Am I looking too deeply into it? Are people getting too annoyed about Brian Mcknight? Maybe you saw it differently. Click down below, comment